going on, singers? My name is Jordan. Welcome to your free masterclass on the 5 things that every single singer needs to dial in if they want to take their voice to that next level. So this is designed for beginners. However, it's going to be very applicable for intermediate and advanced singers if you want to brush up on some of the fundamentals of singing that sometimes we might just forget. Now, after working with literally 250 plus students and talking with thousands of singers, the 5 most common things that every singer brings up to me is they feel like they need help with their breathing and breath support, they need help staying in tune, they need help removing tension, singing high notes without straining, and they need help on sustaining and holding notes. In this training, I'm going to teach you how to do all 5 of these things and how to approach these things. However, I cannot give you specific feedback for your voice because every singer is different. That's why even me, 18 years into my singing journey, I still hire coaches and trainers to help me because I know trying to figure things out on YouTube is not the best way to learn because it's not catered to you as a singer. There are literally hundreds of ways to approach singing, and the one little tip that you find on YouTube might not fit your voice, and the tips in this video might not be exactly what you need as a singer. So if you want to get feedback directly for your voice, I recommend hiring me for a trial lesson so that I can give you specific feedback for your singing. So the first thing, the biggest thing that a lot of singers talk about is breathing. So let's hop right into it. We're going to talk about how do we breathe when we sing? What do we do? What do we not do? So first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to dial in our posture. So we want to make sure that our chest is comfortably lifted, our shoulders are relaxed, okay, so we're not pulling them back, they're in a nice relaxed position, and the back of the neck is flat. Now, the 2 most important things is the back of the neck is flat and the chest is lifted, okay? So when we breathe as singers, it's really common when we take an inhale, we'll go like this. It's a very elementary kind of basic thing that a lot of singers do, so we want to stop doing that altogether. We don't want to be using these upper muscles. What I want you to do is place your hand on your belly and imagine that there is a balloon inside of your stomach, somewhere around your belly button, okay? With the back of the neck flat, the chest lifted, I want you to close your eyes, imagine your favorite color, breathe in through your mouth, and send the air down to that balloon and fill it up. So like this. Good. Let me show you a side angle. Perfect. So you're going to notice I'm not taking like ridiculously big breaths. For most parts of your vocal range, as long as you're breathing into like, let's say 50% of your lung capacity, that's going to be plenty enough to be able to sing. So breathing is obviously very important because it's the engine. It is the thing that powers your voice. If you want to think of the voice in the simplest terms, it's breath plus muscle in your throat vibrating and creating sounds. So we need to make sure that the breathing is dialed in. So the next thing is breath support. Now, for a lot of us, breath support will naturally happen as we're singing. Our body makes these micro adjustments if we have good posture and we have good flow in our breath. So I'm going to teach you what to look for and how that should feel. With that nice open posture, I want you to hold your hand on your stomach, one hand on your stomach by your belly button and one hand by your sternum. You're going to stand nice and tall with your feet in a fighter's stance, okay? So that you feel nice and grounded. Now you're going to breathe in and you're going to make a loud shushing sound like this. Shh. So you should notice your stomach came in, it's slightly engaged, and the muscles in here felt like they were pushing out a little bit. Shh. This is a natural feeling or support that you're going to feel when you sing most of the time. Now, to address a lot of common breathing issues, what I want you to do is start to imagine that there is a river flowing out of your mouth as you sing, okay? The river is always flowing at all times, whether it's in a valley or whether it's going down a hill. The speed of the river might change, but it is constantly flowing. Keep this in mind as you sing. So as you're vocalizing, that river must continue flowing at all times. That's how I want you to think about the breathing, okay? One of my favorite exercises that you can use to really dial in the flow or the river flowing as you sing is a lip trill. So you place your 2 fingers on your cheeks, and you're going to keep your lips nice and relaxed. The teeth are slightly separated. What I recommend that you do is with the lip trill, you sing the melody of a song that you're working on. Let's pretend we're singing Photograph by Ed Sheeran in the chorus. This is what not to do. That's not flowing. The air is constantly being cut off and having to restart and reset. This is flowing. Okay? So that's the difference. I want you to become more aware of this now as you practice. The second most common thing that singers always bring up to me is pitch. So when it comes to pitch, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but you got to start being more mindful and more self-aware of yourself in the moment as you're making the sounds. Learning how to sing on pitch well is the art of hearing a sound, playing it back in your head, and then vocalizing it. Now, it's not always that easy in the beginning, so what you're going to do is you're going to download a chromatic tuner onto your smartphone. Then you're going to go on your computer or laptop and you're going to type in free digital piano, pull it up, the whole screen is going to look like it's a piano now. You're going to take your mouse, click on a note, you're going to look at your chromatic tuner, you're going to see the note that you're playing on the computer first, you're going to go, oh, that's a D, perfect. And then you're going to play the note again, hear it in your mind, visualize yourself singing it, and then sing it. By the way, I'm not singing a D, I don't have perfect pitch. So the goal is you want the little dial that goes back and forth, that's kind of balancing flat and sharp, to be balancing right in the middle. It's usually going to be the color green. And you're going to hold notes out for about 2 seconds at a time. And that's how I want you to practice your pitch. You're going to go up and down note by note, and you're literally just going to play all the different notes, and you're going to look at it on your thing, oh, that's an E, and then sing the note and try to hold it out for about 2 seconds and get it balancing in the middle. And then you create that inner awareness of how the notes sound. Now, if you're flat, that means you're too low. If you're sharp, that means you're too high. So on the little dial, if it's leaning to the left and it's red, you're flat. If it's leaning to the right and it's red, you're sharp. So become aware of what sharp and flat sounds like so that you can develop that inner ear. I'm not going to go into any more detail on this one today, but that is like the elementary what you need to do as a vocalist if you want to improve your pitch. So hitting high notes. This is the most common thing that everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to sound like Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber. They want to have this beautiful high voice like Ed Sheeran. And I can tell you this, it is possible. Your vocal cords are very malleable. They're very stretchy. So even if you haven't sang in a long while or you just don't have that range yet, you can train yourself to balance out the airflow on the muscle to be able to get these high notes coming out really, really nicely. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. Learning to sing is like watching a plant grow. It's very, very, very slow. The growth is happening all the time, but it's just a very slow process. So I do recommend you have video footage or recordings of your progress month to month so that you can hear and see your development as a vocalist. When it comes to hitting high notes, there's multiple ways you can hit high notes. You can do it in a heavy chest voice and a mixed voice. You can do it in a belt. You can do it in a head voice. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the chest voice. So the simplest way to start extending your vocal range is with an SOVTE exercise. Holy shit, that was a mouthful. So it's going to be a lip trill. You're just sliding up to your comfortable range. You're going to be using a pufferfish. It's not going to sound like this. That's head voice. Head voice is light and fluffy, kind of hooty like an owl. Keep it a little bit stronger, okay? Only go up to the point that feels good for your voice for now. The other one you can do is a raspberry. Okay? You can also use NG or M. Mimic the sound of a motorcycle. Or with an M sound. So those are 4 of my favorite sounds that you can make to start extending your vocal range. The goal is to get to that limit where you typically are going to go and flip into head voice, and then you're going to slowly allow that momentum to increase as you go up and up and up in your vocal range. Now, one thing I want to let you know, as you sing high up in your chest voice, you're going to notice it starts to feel like there's a pressure building in your head. Kind of like you're singing in your head voice, but it's a little bit more intense. This is normal. You need to embrace these feelings, embrace that buzzy feeling you get up in here, and accept it as a part of learning to sing high notes. It's really important as you start to sing these high notes that you don't chase the notes with your neck like this. It's really common. Even beautiful singers will start going like this as they sing high notes. You got to be mindful. Record yourself singing with no intentions of posting it so you can see if you have these little things that your body does to try to reach for high notes. Another common problem is people go like this, and they spread their whole face, their neck tenses up. No good. We can't be doing these things. We want to keep our shoulders relaxed, chest lifted, we breathe in. By the way, that was all chest voice. So we're going to just allow our body to feel relaxed, yet we're going to have an increase in momentum as we get up to these high notes. To add on to the river analogy, as you go up to these higher notes, what I always like to imagine is that as I go up, the river flow starts to go downstream and increases. So the river, I imagine, starts going down a hill and it increases. So I think down, and increased momentum as I go up to the higher notes. I find this is a great analogy to help us kind of get into that pocket and not micromanage our body and allow our body to do what it wants to do to sing these higher notes. So the next one is holding and sustaining notes. This one's a lot easier than you think. What I want you to do though is make sure that you are getting support as you hold a note. So for example, if you go, hey, hold the sound as long as you can. Notice how there was a kind of a little tiny waver in my voice? That's why everybody goes to a vibrato when they sing straight tones, because it's going to get rid of that waver. Now, it's perfectly normal. You're just gonna hold any note, just like we did when we were practicing pitch. You're gonna pick any kind of syllable that you wanna sing and literally just hold it. Let's think in terms of energy and wattage. So let's say that this energy we're making is a 5 out of 10 energy wave, and we're gonna keep that exact same energy all the way through. Okay, so for example, if we say hey and we hold the note, we go hey, and then I cut it off. I hold it as long as I can and I cut it off. What I recommend you do is start with 3 seconds, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and then 10. And try to get up to around 10 seconds, because there's not very many songs you're going to hold a note for longer than 8 to 10 seconds maximum. This is how you're going to improve your ability to sustain notes. You literally just choose a sound, choose a note, and keep the energy the same all the way through, and make sure that your stomach is slightly engaging and is slowly coming in so that you can keep the support on the sound. And last but not least, removing tension. So I'm going to teach you a couple of my favorite tension relieving exercises that are going to help you free your voice and just open things right up. So the first one is you look up towards the ceiling with your shoulders relaxed and you do duck lips. I have people in the comments section all the time, oh, this hurt, why is my neck burning? Because you're pushing your body way too hard. This is not pushing your max weight at the gym. This is opening up tension. This is relieving tension in your body. So you gotta be very mindful and you gotta listen to your body and don't overdo it. I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds of each of these stretches to do them 2 to 3 times per day, okay? You'll notice within a week, you're gonna notice a big difference. The next one is similar to the previous one, but you're gonna try to lick your nose like this. All right, so same thing, multiple sets. The next one, you stick your tongue out, you go left, you go right, just move it around, keeping it as relaxed as possible. Try to keep the tongue fat and round as much as you can, okay? The next one is you're just gonna do some neck stretches. Woo, I don't know if you can hear those cracks, those are crazy. So you're gonna hold, I like to make them a little bit active, so I go back and forth, and I go down and up. And I might do some 180s. Now, I have pinched my neck before doing this and been in pain for days where I can't move my neck. So please do this slowly, guys, and listen to your body, okay? If you have any previous injuries or anything like that, I am not overriding any doctor recommendations. I'm just giving you general recommendations that may help your voice. Roll out your shoulders. You can even vocalize as you do this. Ah, yawning from head voice to chest. Ah, ah, Oh, and then stretch up for the ceiling. Go back and forth, stretching out your ribs. I almost forgot. Make sure you're breathing nice and deep as you do this exercise. Go back. And then you can stretch out anything else that you feel needs attention, any parts of your body. Massage your neck. Be gentle with the neck, guys. Stay away from the cartilage in the middle, unless you have a professional speech language pathologist recommending anything for you. And that's it. So these are the tips that I find that all singers bring up to me. This might not be specific to your individual needs. If there's one thing I know from being a vocal coach and teaching almost 300 students, is that a vocal coach needs to have a really deep toolbox of tools to approach every single student. Because if they're approaching singing dogmatically, classical, they're not going to be able to address the specific needs of every singer. That's why I make it my life's mission to constantly be hiring the best voice scientists, the best vocal coaches, the best people that I can find in the industry, and I save up and I invest into myself so that I can be the best vocal coach for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope that one day we'll get to do a trial lesson together and I'll get to meet you face to face and really help you unlock your goals and your potential as a singer and really just build unbelievable confidence in yourself. Thanks so much. Have a good one.